Yes, Ambazonia, for those of you who are watching us on Facebook and on YouTube, I'm calling on you to keep sharing. We're going to open the phone lines, especially before we get into questioning Mr. Arno on some of the things that he should be accountable for. But before that, there are those who believe, Barrister Mbesa, that the war is getting to a phase where we should consider actually taking out every colonial administrator because the representation, MPs, SDOs, mayors, loyal to Yaoundé in Ambazonia is simply saying that Cameroon still has sovereignty over that land, and Cameroon is using that for their propaganda and diplomacy to tell the world, listen, I am still in control, I can handle this. We we still have colonial administrators or dogs roaming around very freely, almost all across our national territory. And some of them even have their own Ambazonia fighters. You have Belamuki that was bluffing and saying some stupid things in Boya. There are many of them you can count. Um, do you think there is more that we have to do, or we have to be more strategic in now targeting and making them to understand that they are military targets? Because our people are being emotional, maybe because of blood relations or family ties or personal relations with some of these individuals, and it is jeopardizing the entire war and our argument. Mr. Mesa, please.
Uh, yes, but this is where I take off. You know, uh, I've said this before. The war for liberation of Ambazonia is not going, the success will not be dependent on whether all the 13 counties, the 61 LGAs fight the war at the same time. Now, the war can be fought and won in one county if the cost of the war, for example, just in Kotunja and Bui, becomes unbearable. Not just the money. They send their soldiers there, their colonels, they are taken out. That it takes years to train a colonel. It takes years to train a general. They're not going to say, well, they have killed them all in Kotunja or Bui. He will remain in Manfred. They will pack out. They will pack out. So, in Kotunja, the whole war may be dependent on you. I'm not by this saying that I discourage all the other 61 counties, 13 counties and 61 AGA. No, you can fight and you should fight everywhere. But where there's concentration of forces, of energy by the enemy, let us focus there and make them feel the pain. And then, to your last question, you know, we'll be making a mistake. Blacklegging, blacklegs, spies didn't start today. Blacklegs are your own people who betray you, and they fall in the category of the Mbela Muki and many others. They are not your friends, they are just your enemies. And so I'm not sure that the Defense Department has told somebody anywhere that leave the duos, leave the administrators there because they are not our target. Now, they have not told if they have not gone, if they've not been sent away, by design is a mistake. You don't need to go too far. Go and learn this lesson from the BLM, and from the BLM, I can tell you this with emphasis. There is no administration in the BLM. There's nobody there. The Red Dragons don't need permission from anybody for the deal to escape. You didn't even need Yawande to transfer him. You know that sure he said there, you'll be dead. And he packed. And the rest of them packed all out. If they do anything, they do it from neighboring town Cham or somewhere else. So make the place ungovernable in whatever method you can. Don't deceive yourself to think that, well, you are forgiving this one because he's a mayor, he's a native. You are forgiving this one because, no, 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 no. A mayor who generally is a local person is speaking a dialect is an enemy. Because as I've just said, he's the very guy who will come and say this is a footpath. Nobody from Yaoundé knows the footpath in any village unless it's a villager. So take them out. We don't need permission to take them out. And I remember these were taken, photos were taken out in India. Nobody sought permission from anybody, from the presidency of the government of Ambazonia. They say, oh, let us take this administrator out. And I said this 2 weeks ago. Have those people been replaced? No. That's how they lose the war. Those offices are empty because they make the people who go there feel the pain. They make the future people coming there realize that going there is putting your life in danger. And that's how we win the war. So don't think that if Mr. I hear, I don't know how true it is, if Mr. Okala Belay, who is the governor in Boya, stays in Douala, or Lele Afrik, who is the governor in Bamenda, stays in Bunda, because they like it, because the ground is too hot for them. It will make hotter in such a way that they will not even be able to drive from Douala to Boya or drive from Bunda to Bamenda to do the work. That is, you have the largest to do all that. All those people are legitimate targets. Your real legitimate targets are not the soldiers with the guns. No, because they are deployed there. If they don't come, the problem will be dismissed. But the people who are giving the orders, who are deploying them, who are directing them, they are the first enemy on the line. They are the first enemy for you to challenge. And so, let the war be fought. Let us not deceive ourselves again. The war for Ambazonian freedom can be fought and ended in 1, 2, or 3 counties. It need not be in every county. But if it is able to be in every county, so be it. But if it is concentrated on Bui now, yeah, what is the reason, for example, why they went to Obiako and kill people? Nobody was killing them there. That's mark of frustration. They cannot even kill an ARF in Bui or go Kutinja. So it doesn't make the ground hot for them. Any of them who they bring down is as good as any other one, as long as it's carrying the uniform, as long as it's carrying the gun to fight you. So
SOS Zama,
that's how
go ahead, please.
over to you.
Sorry for that. Go ahead, please. SOS Zama, you are shaking your head. It would appear apparently that you agree with Barrister Mbeseha, but there are those who argue that the pressure is already getting too much on Oketunja and Bui, and perhaps we can strategically target the enemy from different parts. And they want Manu to gain more force. They're questioning why Victoria, their argument, the landscape, and so on, Muyenge, Kondo Titi, Nzian, which is the hub of their interests. Barrister Fru even suggested that for economic sabotage, that was what he suggested during our previous conversations. For the purpose of economic sabotage, we've got to make Ndian particularly very ungovernable. Do you think there is more that your office and the Amazonian Restoration Forces on the ground would have to do to make sure that not just Lele Afrik, not just Okala Belai in Boya, but every colonial administrator or talk in Ambazonia should find themselves running not to live in our homeland? Instead of them calling our chiefs in meetings and threatening or abusing or assaulting them, like Mbela Moki was doing. I'm talking to you, Ezra Zama.
All these people you are talking are not living in Ambazonia. They are living somewhere else and running into Ambazonia and having a 10, 15, 20 minutes conference with our chiefs. It's rather pitiful that our chiefs would leave their palaces and go sit in front of a young person who does not even understand their cultures. But this war is being fought in every sphere of Ambazonia. Tactically, it's a whole different battle in the coastal area, in the urban areas than it's in the northern zone, in places like Lebialem or in Manu. We have different assets that we deploy, and these things sometimes it may take a month or two. There's always a lag time, and there's still war going on there. It's not that there's no war. The fact that people are sleeping at home now does not necessarily mean that the war has ended in Victoria. there's war going on. It's been going on in different parts of the southern zone, in Meme, in Dian, in Fako. Yes, I know people have complained a lot that everything seems to be normal in Victoria. They are organizing film fest. They are organizing soccer tournaments in Victoria. Well, we are not telling a lot of people what we must do or what we are planning to do. It's a war zone, and sometimes the enemy, you go where the enemy is concentrating its forces. Once you move, they move. You have to re-strategize. It's the Victoria area is full of Manawo Bay and all those other military installations that are there. But yeah, it takes a little bit of time. Sometimes it may take a while of planning to be able to muster all the manpower and the equipment to get there. But I still want to tell our citizens that Victoria is not a foregone conclusion. It's not a chasse gardée de la République du Cameroun, like they say it. It's not. It's still an Ambazonian territory. Their time is short on that territory as it is. The time for the battle is coming for Victoria, and I want everybody to be assured of that. We cannot fight the battle at the same speed and at the same magnitude in every four corners of the Republic. If you will understand, La Republique is putting a lot of its concentration, a lot of its armed soldiers in the northern zone because it's a much more resistant part of the country. In the southern zone, there's still some tolerance, and it's just a question of intolerance of people like Moja, Belamuki, that is instigating people to attack our ARFs, and they some sort of don't have that support, total support of the population to give them cover. But the war is still going on, and we are going to fight even in Victoria. That time is coming where we are not going to come in the night, or we will come during the day and fight like men, eyeball to eyeball, and get these people out of Victoria. It's not a foregone conclusion, please.
That's amazing. You okay, Vice Fru, please.
Yes, I want to say that let's not give the impression that only Ngokutunja and Bui are fighting. No, I listened to a voice audio from our spokesman in Manu this week, and it's very troubling. La République BIR, well armed, is in the forest. Is in the forest in Oyomojok, killing our people, going to our villages. Some of those villages, they are in the forest and so on. They go, they kill, they take some prisoners, they make you to become a blackleg overnight, and they force you to show them wherever you are. That is happening right now after Agwopo. After what happened in Agwopo, La République has also deployed a lot of forces into Manu. And our restoration forces have been working day and night since more than 2 weeks now. And we should bring that to limelight and to say that even in the southern zone, our people are fighting and fighting day and night. If the forces in Manu do not fight now, before we open our eyes, they would have wiped out all our villages in those forests. The forces in Oyomojok are doing a good job. They are responding. They are laying ambush. We are at guerrilla warfare. We are not a conventional military force. This is guerrilla warfare, and they are doing their best to ensure that Manu is protected. And Manu has been fighting just like Ngokutunja and Bui and other and Donga and Manto. They have been fighting. Even in Fako, like SoS Zama just said, Fako is not as quiet as people think, because our restoration forces even though they have been infiltrated, they have been paralyzed by some other obscure forces, they are still doing what they have to do to protect the homeland. And I want to bring this to the focus of this discussion, that they should know that in Manu, in the Yomojok now, in the forest, the Republic forces, the BIR forces are there, well armed, and they have been killing our villagers, taking some prisoners, and making some to go and show them where they say, show us where the restoration forces are. And where, of course, where would they see the restoration forces? They should also know that that forest belongs to our people. Our people know the forest better than them. So the battle in Manfe is on. That's just to show you that the fighting is not only in Gokutunja, it's not only in Bui, it's in Manu, it's in Dian, it's in Gokutunja, it's in Libialem, and it is in parts of Bafako that it's not the people we don't know very much about, but it is going on. So let's not make it look like, okay, when we liberate one county, it is done. No, our people are all fighting, but the degree at which they fight is a different story. Because, okay, take Fako for example. Fako La Republic has brought in all kinds of forces into Fako. There's the Manuabe, their major base. There are military garrisons in Tico. You call the amphibious unit. In Boya, you have a whole contingent. In Victoria, you have all this contingent. And we are gorillas, and we can only do what we can do. But our people are doing the best they can. So
yes,
this fight is not over. This fight is not over. It's going to be is continuing, and our restoration forces are up to the task. And La Republic is smelling the coffee, but you know they don't give a hoot about the human beings, because what has happened in Bui, it should have raised a red flag for La Republic to think that, oh no, we have to do something about this. But they are not bothered.